in honor of Grover. Yes, that sounds like a fucking excellent idea. They always fuck you at the drive-thru. Oh, and on the Nice Guys on Business podcast. 3 days a week, they're able to hold it together. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. Adults need not apply. No interviews, lots of ranting, and they sometimes stumble onto something useful. Go figure. Now it's time for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery themselves, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Things that you immediately want to talk about?
Well, you know what's interesting about this episode is I'm surprised that we actually can record a podcast any longer, because I feel like we're stepping back into like the early 19 or mid 1900s before abortion was legalized. Because what the fuck, are we stepping back in this world or what? What is going on exactly?
Dude, I just don't even know that we want to get into this.
Well, we can get into it, because this is one of those things that, look, I have an opinion. I'm a guy, so who knows if my opinion, it's my opinion, but it's like, what the fuck? And you know that, like Roe v. Wade, you know what's going to happen. It's like the gateway decision that's going to lead to a whole bunch of other things, like gay marriage, like transgender, being able to, all of the stuff that has happened, civil rights, human rights, people rights, fuck podcaster rights, all this shit. It's like, what the hell is going on with this country?
Yeah, the religious right, and I think the people that are pro-choice, pro-life. This is tough because I know you and I are very much on the same side of this, and I don't want to feel like we're going to like just beat a dead horse with nobody to have any kind of contrasting opinion. But
you can be the other side. You can be the other side. I know you like.
Yeah, I often like doing that, but not in this particular case. I'm sorry. Right. It's just, they say we care about life, right? The argument is you're killing someone. Like, I saw a great meme the other day. It showed a ball of twine, and it said, "This is not a scarf. This is not a sweater," right? Like when you see eggs and flour and sugar, this is not a chocolate cake. Okay. Again, it's kind of, it's
so is your point? This is not a baby. This
is not a baby. Right. And again, people that feel strongly about that are like, oh, you can't fucking, that's rude as shit. Compare a human person to fucking ball of twine. But I'm sorry. It's just, forget the practical, okay? Because putting aside the practical of forcing women who don't want to have a child to have a child, right? Like completely putting that aside, at some point. So it's like, okay, so when I'm jerking off, like, okay, my sperm, that's a child right there. That's a possibility.
Somebody is going to tell you, Strickland, that shit down the drain is killing a potential child.
Right. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just, and when you got women who have dangerous pregnancies, like an ectopic pregnancy, which is a pregnancy that will never, ever result in a live child being born. But if they can't abort it, it just means more pain and suffering for them until their body gets rid of it naturally. I mean, shit like that. I mean, you got fucking 11, 12, 13-year-old kids that get raped, like by a fucking family member sometimes. And the person that raped them has more rights than they do. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Okay, but hold on. I'll take the opposing view about this for just a quick second. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there are exceptions to the pro-life stance, which would be things like incest and race and rape. And I don't know that is the case. But let's just take the normal situation where a woman should have the right to decide what happens to her own body. No one should have that decision, take that power and take that decision on their own. And I think that they're even arguing the point that it really should never be in the hands of the Supreme Court anyway. This is not the court to decide this decision in. We're going to give it to the state. And when you do, I just think we are stepping back in time and not moving forward.
Well, that's the legal argument too, is that Roe v. Wade is something that we should let each state decide on their own, which again, I completely disagree
No, I
with.
disagree. I think let each woman decide on their own. Not each. Shouldn't be in the state's hands either.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more. I saw a very interesting post. Samantha Bee was interviewing a Jewish woman, and I don't know if it was like a female rabbi or if it was just a relatively religious one, and somebody else who was, I don't know if they were Hasidic or if they were, one of the Eastern religions, and they said, Judaism, do you believe in abortion? And they were like, yeah, it's actually, there's many things written in the Torah about it to basically say that if there is an issue that the mother's life is worth more than the child's life. Like, let's say the mother is in fear of being killed if they go through with the pregnancy, right? Like, let's say it's a dangerous pregnancy, right? The Jewish faith requires that the child be aborted because they're putting the mother at risk. The mother's life is worth more until that child comes out of the womb. And again, that's the extreme.
Right.
But until that child comes out of the womb, the mother's life is worth more than the unborn child's life. And then there are all kinds of other times where basically they're like, look, it's just, it's not really a child until it comes out. And then they asked also about I wish I had the interview. It's a very short little, like a 1 minute clip. I think I posted it on Twitter, but it was just so interesting about the Catholic Church. They said, well, is abortion against, like, is there anything in the Bible about abortion? No, technically there's not. I'm making a bad argument because I can't remember what they said, but it was something very interesting about how this woman who was a Catholic priest was basically saying, all of the logical things you're telling me are right, but the church is still against abortion. And it's laws that are being put down. It's a book that was written by men who have never had a uterus, who have never given birth. And it's being reinforced by priests who are celibate, who don't have wives, who are not even allowed to have sex. Like, how fucking ridiculous is that?
Well, while certainly there are going to be some religious implications or consequences that are faced when someone is in the process of making a decision whether to or not to have a child, but I'm not even talking about religion. I'm not even talking about incest or rape. I'm not talking about any of those things. I am purely talking about a woman's right to make a decision because it is her fucking decision to make. It is not the state's. It's not federal. It's not religion. It's not my rabbi. It's not the priest. It's not the Quaker. It's not the anything. It's a woman's right to make her own fucking decision. And anything other than that is not proper, in my opinion.
Well, and that's the core of it for me too. Now, the argument to the other side is, well, a woman doesn't have a right to just kill somebody. Well, that's the whole line in the sand, is what is considered life, right? That's the hard part. But 100%, I agree with you completely that it's ridiculous that it is such a religious thing. And the whole reason that the United States was formed and started was for religious freedom, that you can believe whatever you want. And it seems to me that the people who are pushing this are the religious right. And you know what? The Catholics can just keep their fucking beliefs out of, you're welcome to believe whatever you want. If you don't want to believe in abortion, don't fucking have one. But you know what? The government should not have anything to do with Catholicism. It shouldn't. They should be completely separate from each other.
And
I think
the philosophy, again, I think part of it is it's also going to separate us even more as a society from a socioeconomic perspective, because you're taking people that are going to have the challenging, what's the expression? When you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. Mm-hmm. They're still going to have abortions. They're still going to, and people are just going to have to travel for them. And now you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have someone that couldn't afford to have an abortion to begin with. You're going to make them travel to out of state, putting them, or go somewhere back alley the way that it used to be, before we had this law in place where it's a woman's right to make a decision rather than it's illegal to have an abortion. You're going to further distance people from each other, and you're just creating an environment where there's even more hate, more separation. And I just don't think it's right. Just don't think it's right. And I think the Nice Guys on Business is exactly the channel where we should be promoting this. Welcome back.
It absolutely, welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner, on the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. And this is a definitely something that it's just so wrong on so many levels.
Agreed,
right? Like,
man.
I'm not a gun guy. I don't like guns. I don't want to have guns. You know what? I think we should have more restrictions on them. But you know what? I get the argument that, it says in the Constitution, we can have them. And you know what? If you want to have guns, I'm okay with you having guns, right? But, and I can see the other side of that. But it's so wrong on so many levels that it just kills me. I mean, and to say, well, if you don't want to have a child, you can put it up for adoption, right? Like, I wonder if any of those Republicans have ever adopted any children.
If any of those Republicans, I don't even look at it as I know it is a very divided country in terms of political affiliation. Pro-life equates to being a Republican, pro-choice equates to being a Democrat. But at the same time, it's not even about that. It doesn't need to be about that. It really just is about letting a woman make a decision or not make a decision. Period. The end. If you don't think a woman should have the right to make a decision about her own body, then you're pro-life. If you think a woman should have the right to make a decision about her own body, you're pro-choice. And other than that, I think it's null and void. That's the 18th Amendment to the Constitution. Or what? How many do we have now? How many do we have?
I don't know, but it's so crazy to me that the same people that when you tell them they need to get vaccinated, they say, my body, my choice, are the same people that want to take all women's choice away. And the same people that say, don't come and take my guns. We want less regulation. We want fewer restrictions, that they want to take the choice of every woman in the entire United States away. It's just crazy to me.
There are 27 amendments to the Constitution. The first 10 are actually called the Bill of Rights. This would be the 28th Amendment. Thou should not be a fucking idiot is my amendment to the Constitution. Let's ratify that. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
What else is really funny is that people are talking about, well, yeah, this is the first step. And then they're going to be talking about, outlawing same-sex marriage, and then, going so far as to say, interracial marriage. And, Clarence Thomas, who is on the Supreme Court, is
Let
married
it fucking
to
get to that. Let it get to that. If that's what it requires, if that's what it takes in order for us to make some fucking decisions that are in the right direction, I blame this all on Trump. I really do. There you go.
As much as I hate to say it, that this is what kills me too, is I really feel like, and I'm sure we'll get a call from Jared on this, which I would always welcome, of course, that Trump, during his campaign in 2016, said things that people were afraid to say before, right? Like I just thought he was kind of an asshole. And then he kept gaining ground and he kept gaining ground. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he said, that video came out where he said, just grab him by the pussy. And he was just showing how completely misogynistic he was and how little he respected women.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, well, thank God this will finally take him down.
Nope.
And then it got worse and worse. And I honestly believe that one of the reasons that we are where we are today is because so many people in this country were like, you know what? I don't like black people so much, but I'm not going to say it because it's not a popular opinion. And Trump said, fuck it, say whatever the fuck you want. Hate whoever the fuck you want. I fucking hate everybody that doesn't like me. Fuck them all. And it gave permission. It gave permission for people to be like, hey, you know what? You're right. Fuck it. I haven't said this in a long time, but I'm going to fucking come out and say it anyway. I totally believe that. And it's just, oh my God. It's nuts.
In better news, I was listening to Planet Money the other day. I think actually this morning I heard this. It was either this morning or yesterday morning. As of the airing of this, I don't know. It's so fucking, I'm in my time machine right now. Oh, by the way, remind me, we got to talk about Facebook stopping podcasting on Facebook. So just remind me a second to talk about that. Unclaimed property. So I'm listening to Planet Money, and they happen to say, hey, you if you want to really get a listen to one of our favorite episodes, check out this episode of Planet Money. It was actually published in 2020 originally. It's one of our most popular episodes. And I'm listening in, and they're talking about all of the money. You know, AT&T issues you a refund check, but it doesn't quite make it to you because you've moved or something happens. Mm-hmm. So AT&T is not allowed to keep that money. They actually have to put that in like a lost and found or write that money off. So every year the government says to them, okay, or AT&T or whoever it is, okay, what money do you have that is lost money? And so there are departments within the government that actually do this. You can go right now, search for unclaimed property and just type in your state. And then it's really simple. You just type in your name when you get there and you hit enter, and it will tell you based upon your name if you potentially have money that's sitting just in their coffers waiting for you.
Okay.
So we did this. JJ and I did this. We did California, we did Pennsylvania, and we did New York. Mm-hmm. Now it's not a lot of money, but she has $41 that was sitting in because they tried to send her a check and never made it to her, and now she's got this $41. So I do it. I type in Sandler and I do it for Maryland and California. Don't have anything in California. Don't have anything in Maryland. I'm like, let me try my mom. I try my mom, and the person's name that is my mom's mom came up because I used her maiden name. And it basically says November of 1963, which was the day that my grandmother died.
Oh my God.
Okay, my mom's mom died. There was what we think was the bank where she had a safe deposit box. So we have no idea. So we're filling out the form now, and it's going to be sent in. Stay tuned to find out what was in my grandmother's safe deposit box.
So wait a minute. So you looked this up, and basically they said it's not a dollar amount, but we have some belongings from a safe deposit box.
Well, I don't know exactly so let's just say that there was 5 rings in the safe deposit box. I think that the state takes them and then auctions them and converts it into money and puts the money in an account waiting for somebody to claim it. I don't think they like have a big warehouse filled with stuff. So, but I don't know that to be a fact. So we're filling out the paperwork, but what I know is the area where the address for the claimant is processed. It was an address for a bank that used to be where my grandmother did her banking. So there's a good chance that there was a safe deposit box or a bank that had deposits in it. It could be like 3 cents. I have no idea, but it was November of 1963, which I thought was pretty interesting. So.
That's crazy. So what you got it? What's the site? Because I got to put it in the show.
So just go to Google and just type unclaimed property and whatever the name of your state is. So if you're going to do unclaimed property Maryland, you can type in and you can do it now while we're waiting. But let me tell you the story about why this was even a Planet Money story to begin with. So a guy buys some Amazon stock. And the Amazon stock that he bought was in like 1997 or whenever it was that Amazon was like $2,000 or $2,000. So he bought like $2,000 in shares for Amazon stock. And he's the kind of guy, very much like I am, that he invested in something. And I don't look at my statements every month because I don't want to get nervous that the stock goes up, the stock goes down. I mean, I have a lot of money in my retirement account, and if I see one day that it went down like $20,000, I'd probably be likely to say, hey, just pull me out of that stock. So I don't do that. I don't even look. I probably now look once a year at that, as opposed to our TurnKey bank account. I'll probably look at 7 times a day. Right. Anyway, so this guy bought this Amazon stock, whatever the first couple of years that Amazon existed, or in the 90s or whatever. And he spent a couple $1,000s, and he is watching the stock not his account, but the stock. He's hearing, in 2005, he's hearing, hey, Amazon stock is now up to, $900. Okay, in 2015, Amazon stock is split and split 3 times, and now it's worth $8,000. And he's just doing the raw calculations in his head because it's such a public company, and he's like, I bet I have like my original $2,000 investment. I bet I have like 150 grand sitting in there now.
Probably more than that.
So 2 years ago, he goes to the broker, which was just like an online broker, whoever it was. They sold his stock. They tried to reach him. They couldn't reach him. He wasn't at the same address. So they sent it to that unclaimed property in Delaware, because that's where the bank was, or whatever the brokerage was, or whatever.
But
so
when did they sell it?
This was like in 2005 that they sold it.
So it wasn't like, okay. I mean,
okay. So
Amazon
now this
was big in 2005, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Like it is
so
today.
his investment went from like $2,000 up to like, let's say $7,000. And he was like, that'd be cool, but it's not $150,000. So he contacts Delaware, unclaimed property, and he says, hey, I understand that you have my money, because I'm looking online. It shows me why do you have my money? Well, they documented, they've tried to reach you this time, and this time, and you never responded. So they did what they fiduciarily needed to do, which was send the money to us. And he's like, well, no problem. I will take my stock back, and I'll take the certificates, and I'll take my $150,000. And they're like, well, no, you don't get the 150 grand. You get the 7.
Right. Because they didn't hold on to the stock.
They didn't hold the stock
to continue to increase in value.
So he goes to an attorney, and the attorney, and now the stock is valued, let's say 150 grand. And the attorney says, hey, look, I'd really love to be able to help you, but it's just not worth us going after the government for $150,000. There are companies that are owed millions of dollars from these unclaimed property bureaus. That's when it gets in the millions, we start looking. So he's like, all right, his attitude right now is, I'm not going to cash this $7,000 check that unclaimed property gives me, because when I do that, I lose all of my rights to the money. I'm going to let them hold it, because they have to hold it forever. I'm going to let them hold it. And when it gets to the millions of dollars, then I will go after Amazon. I'll go after unclaimed property. I'm like, how fucked up is that? Could you imagine? Like,
but why would they feel they have to sell it? Why wouldn't they just hold on to it forever?
Well, because nobody's paying taxes on this money. Nobody is taking any of the reports. Nobody's filling out any of the whatevers that, hey, give us the change of address, give us anything, communicate with us. So they didn't, they never did. And so he didn't make it. Are you filling it out? Do you see where
I looked my name up, and it says yes. And it has an address here that was my old address. And
you got money.
There's a single claim number here.
You got money. Oh, you can. So you take that claim number, and you go to the next form, and you paste that in there, and you send that to that address that's on the form.
So I have to print the claim form. So in other words,
yes.
I can't find out online how much
not for Maryland, but for California and New York, you can do it online, but not for Maryland. They make you send in a fucking form.
Damn.
So if you're in our community and you want to see if you have any, I bet everybody right now is stopped listening and they've moved on.
Right? No doubt. Nobody's listened past there.
So it was a really cool little episode, because I'm like, I got all excited. I was listening to the episode. I was probably trying to fall back asleep around 3 a.m. and I was listening to the episode, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till morning time so I can go and look up. Should have gotten out of bed right then and there.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Then I changed over to my Sleepy Time podcast, which just tells a story about fairies and nymphs and things like that, so I could try to go to sleep.
Nice. Okay.
All right, man. All right, we have a voicemail.
You were going to talk about Facebook and
yeah.
shit.
So I got an email, which you probably did as well. Hold on a second. Let me find the Facebook here. Facebook, the Book of Faces.
The Book of Faces.
Wait, it wasn't sent to that email address. Let me look at my other email address. I can read you. I guess I could just go to Google. Hold on, Facebook. Okay, the Facebook message was, oh fuck, I don't see it here. Facebook podcast. Okay, podcast. Wait, Facebook is shutting down its podcast services. Facebook is shutting down its podcast services June 3rd, barely a year after its launch. The social media giant told TechCrunch that it's going to discontinue its short-form audio soundbites feature and its audio hub in the coming weeks. After a year of learning and iterating on our audio-first experiences, we decided to simplify our suite of audio tools on Facebook. In other words, it wasn't profitable.
Right, exactly. It wasn't making
that was like,
they had it.
That was so fast. Yeah, they got all in a tizzy about wanting to bring, because they were trying to compete with what the fuck is that? Not Cookie House. That's what I used to.
Cookie House.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is Clubhouse even a thing anymore?
I have no idea. Probably not.
It's like that was valued somewhere in like the billions of dollar range. And could it? Let's see. Facebook's foray into audio was competitive move a year ago, and Clubhouse was valued at $4 billion.
Oh my God! Did they sell?
Okay, so the guy that created Clubhouse,
mm-hmm.
he was holding on to his cards.
Oh no!
I think he held too long. I really do.
So he basically kept saying, "No, it's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. I'm not going to sell."
When was, something like that. But let me see what this says. It says,
so crazy.
Let's see. Last year, it says Clubhouse closes an undisclosed $4 billion valuation Series C round as tech giants clones circle. I wonder, let's see, is Clubhouse still a thing? Is Clubhouse still popular? All right, let's see. While Clubhouse has reached 8 million downloads in 1 month at its peak, the number of downloads has dropped to less than 1 million in April 2021. That was 2021. Hold on, 2022. As February 2021, Clubhouse hosted 10 million active users. In January 21 was number 5 most downloaded app. In January 22, it dropped to number 18. Clubhouse has 2.8 million downloads in December of 2021. I wonder what it's worth right now. What is Clubhouse worth? What is Clubhouse worth? It's still worth $4 billion. No, that's of December of 2021. It was worth $4 billion.
I'm still surprised of that valuation, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Strick, maybe we got in the market a little late.
I don't think so.
Well, wait. Oh no! Our horse and buggy business. You were big on the buggy whips, and I'm like, hey, why not just sell the whole kit and caboodle? Let's sell the horse.
It was the whip part that I especially liked. Yeah.
Hey, we have to be very careful, because I really do think right now, in a past couple of conversations I've had with some of our clients, I understand that some of our clients are listening to our show.
Oh shit, that's dangerous.
That really is.
We have to actually be careful what we say.
Oh God, it was so good for a while. It was really so. How more people want, like, hey, how do I get more people listening? We really don't care if we have more people listening. We actually just do this so Strickland and I can have a conversation every week.
Exactly. We just like to rant. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
All right. So what do we got? Jared has been really quite remiss in dropping voicemails into the. Can I ask Magic 8 Ball a question?
Sure.
Okay. Magic 8 Ball. Will Jared be leaving voicemails more frequently than he has been moving forward?
Will he be leaving voicemails more frequently
moving forward?
Okay. Well, Magic 8 Ball, what say you? Will Jared be leaving more voicemails? You know what? I just realized I shared my screen and I forgot to share sound. Before I even hit play, I'm going to go share.
You have all your settings, right? Because I know there's a whole bunch of settings you need to. Right, don't you have to go outside, open up the garage?
Right, exactly. Click on the garage door clicker and move the rabbit ears around.
Wow, talk about aging yourself right there.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's see what the Magic 8 Ball
All right,
has to
Magic
say.
8 Ball. Will Jared be leaving voicemails more frequently moving forward?
Oh, wait, it didn't play. Wait a minute. Here, okay.
I'll tell you what, if you guys become Republicans, you can do it. Yeah, I guess that's a big fat no then, isn't it?
Oh no. Do you think it's something, Strickland, do you think it's something that we have said over the last several months? Or do you think that he's busy, he's moved on to Planet Money?
I think it's got to be, he's got to be busy. He's got to be busy.
You know, and since we didn't hear
Okay.
from Sunny Lake in the last couple of weeks, and we did mention her name a few weeks ago on one of the episodes, I'm assuming that she no longer is a listener. And I don't know if even like Prosh or Mar are listeners anymore, or Ryan Bocross is a listener. We really just don't know who is listening to the show any longer.
It's true. It's true. I see Mar on Twitter every once in a while. I've been on Twitter more recently, and I see her posting on Twitter. So I hope she's.
Oh God, can I tell you something? My Instagram account, my Mustang account on Instagram, something is going on. I literally went from right at this moment, from where we stand right now. I went up from 1,000 followers, which I thought was really good, to 9,000 followers.
What the fuck?
In about 30 days.
That's crazy.
I have no idea. And right now I'm moving at a pace of about 500 new followers every day.
Oh my God. That's nuts.
I have no, wait, let's see if you can.
That is crazy.
I don't even know what is going on there. But here's here, let me show you this post, which is again, so ridiculous. This post was posted, 4 days ago. I don't know if you can see how many likes that post has. Can you see that?
24,000?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? 24,000?
I know. That's my most liked post in the last, or forever. I don't think I've ever gotten 24,000. The only time I got 24,000 likes on anything was when I did my book cover. Remember my book cover for Nice Guys Finish First?
Yep.
Well, I got 41,000 comments on LinkedIn, which I thought was interesting. But nothing rivals that other than this. And I have never seen such a rapid rise in my follower account for Mustang Podcast. But thank you, everybody, if anybody's listening to this show that is a Mustang Podcast listener. But what's really strange is that the number of downloads on that podcast has not gone. I wish the number of downloads on that podcast would spike as significantly as that, but it just hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's play this voicemail.
All right, we ready?
Wait a minute. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. It's really very quiet.
Oh, it's that thing again. Okay, because I am hearing it in my ear. Okay, so let's change this to go here and play there.
It was a little louder when you were playing his voicemail, which
was weird. I don't know why. You mean?
Oh no, not the voicemail. Magic 8 Ball, right?
I don't know. Weird.
All right, do it.
Okay, here we go.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. It's actually from Jared.
Hey, Doug, it's Rick, Jared here. So,
hold on. Now you got the fucking echo going on because I'm hearing it.
Okay, let me turn my speakers down. God.
No, you don't have to turn your speakers down. Here's what you need to do: mute your microphone.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Come on, you're like an audio pro.
Fine, whatever. Yeah, I'm an audio pro, but I usually don't have my fucking stuff playing out of my speakers. It should be playing through the headphones and working.
There's got to be a worker. There's got to be another way to do what you are doing other than how you're doing it. I'm not saying it's your fault.
I'll just mute the mic. I don't care. It's just not, it doesn't matter. Here we go.
Hey, Doug, it's Rick, Jared here. So, yes, it's been a few weeks since I called in. Sorry, I've been slacking. Haven't been missing the episodes, but I've been slacking. Anyways, you said you hoped I called in on this one, Strict, and you were talking about the ballots and Trump running for president, and quite honestly, I got lost in your little parody there. It was just kind of chuckling. So, as far as people still saying the election was stolen, you know, whatever. I kind of moved on from that, even though I've seen a lot of the things that happened during that election, like Republicans being locked out of the actual voting places while they're counting. Sorry, if you don't have something to hide, why would you lock them out and not allow anybody in? So that right there just is evidence to me enough that there's enough people in this higher up that I don't trust it. So the other side of that is I have faith that it's going to get fixed and, you know, hopefully things will be okay. But if you don't believe there was any fraud, what does it matter? Because Biden had such a big turnout, no one will ever be able to beat him if those numbers were real. That's more than anybody has ever had ever. And probably if you combine some elections in the previous, he had more votes than that. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. Our Mr. Lovely President should stay in there if everything was legit. So if there's nothing to fix, nothing to hide. Anyways, that's my take on it, and I just keep rolling, man. As far as supporting Trump again, we'll see who's running against who, because it sure the fuck won't be Biden I vote for. Be just about anybody. You know, I'd vote for Grover. Let's put Grover in there versus Biden. Anyways,
Fucking excellent idea.
that's always, guys. Love the show, love you guys, and appreciate you. See ya.
All right, there's
clearly I need to say I'll tell Jimmy to edit, and he has to open with Grover. Yes, excellent idea.
There is one thing I would like to agree with what he had said on that, and that was as he was getting towards the end of that, and I agree. I wouldn't vote for Biden again.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think that there. I think when you're voting for, here's what I liked about Trump. Here's what I disliked about Biden. I know this is going to sound so counter who I am. I like disruption. And I think that as far as disruption goes, I think Trump did a great job of being disruptive. How he went about being disruptive, I hated that. Because as a person, I think he is just a moron. And I think that he is, well, all the things that we have talked about before. As far as Biden goes, I think it's business as usual. And I don't like that either. I think that we just are in a big government mode, and I don't like that. I don't like the things that he is not doing, and I don't like the things that he is doing. So he's not creating enough of a change. We need change. That's why I liked Obama. I think there was a lot of things that he really tried to, and if I felt like he was trying to do things, I don't think Biden is trying to do anything.
It's interesting because I see a lot of stuff on Twitter and on the news, and the big argument is the Democrats just don't have communication skills, because I see that Biden is that he's created more jobs than any president in the same amount of time in office.
Tell me that then.
Unemployment is down. Like,
tell me that then.
There's a lot going on.
I don't feel like
the national debt is down. But you're right. I think it's a communication issue.
Look,
I'm very curious that you say you wouldn't vote for Biden again. Like,
I wouldn't vote for him again.
In a year and a half, like has he had any time to do anything? I mean, it's like,
I don't know.
I imagine Biden walking in and going, "Okay, well, it's going to take me a year to clean up the fucking mess that Trump left to even get started."
Agree. I don't disagree with that. So I would like to give him another 2.5 years of chance. You know, I'd like to, but I am very open to the idea of having another, another Democrat president in office. I don't think that I would vote for a Republican president just based upon oftentimes the policies that Republicans believe in and vote for. But at the same time, if my choice was to go for Biden or Trump again, I am going to vote for Biden. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got to agree with that too. I think it's Rick Scott just came out with a new tax plan, like an idea for a tax plan. And it literally does not raise taxes on the rich or corporations at all. It raises taxes on the middle class. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, should corporations pay more tax? Look, I'm not going to say that the 20% tax rate for a corporation is bad, but the reality is they're not paying anywhere near the 20%. What I think needs to be fixed is all the fucking deductions and the exemptions and the other shit. Like, when we talk about, like, rich people that are making, millions or hundreds of millions of dollars a year and not paying their fair share of taxes. And they argue, oh, we're at a 30% or 35% or 39% tax rate. It's like, but you're paying 1/4% of your actual, the money that you're making. You're not paying anywhere near 35%. If you were, then we wouldn't have to be arguing about it. But that's the issue, the way I see it. It's not that the tax rate isn't high enough on the rich people. It's that the tax exemptions mean
All right.
that the
So
rate is ridiculous.
all right. How would you feel about this? If we came up with a flat percentage for everybody, look, it's 30%. Everybody's got to pay 30% of their wages has got to go. There are no exemptions, no deductions, no anything. Would that work?
Yeah, I mean, it would depend on whatever percentage you wanted to set it at. But look, to me, I think that could totally work.
I
And I
can
think
tell
it
you,
would bring a lot more money in.
I think it would bring a lot more money in and simplify the process. But
Mhm.
you'd still have these fucking people that are going to try to skirt the system because there's always going to be some sort of deduction, exemption. How do you wipe out every single deduction, every single exemption? I mean, we're a small company, relatively speaking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're a small company, but I look at our list of the things that we're able to, based upon the tax laws, that we're able to deduct.
Mhm.
If we just said, you know what, we cannot deduct those things any longer, I still think we would survive.
Yeah, we would, but I think business is different from personal too. And I think the issue is both. I mean, does Amazon really pay no taxes at all? Maybe. I have no idea. Does Google pay no taxes at all? And I remember hearing an argument a year or two or three ago from because they had to do congressional hearings of, like, why isn't Google paying enough taxes? And my understanding was, like, Congress went to Google and said, look, you got this in this country and this in that country, and, like, you're putting all your money into those places. And Google basically said, we are a public company. We have shareholders. It is our job to make as much money as possible for our shareholders. What we're doing is 100% legal. If you don't want us to do it, change the fucking laws and we won't do it anymore. But we're not doing anything illegal.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. So where do you draw the line? At what point is a company a child? 15 weeks? It's 23 weeks?
I'd love to debate this more, but I have an appointment with Walmart to
Oh,
talk to
all
them
right.
about their taxes this year.
All right. No worries. Well, this is a conversation that will go on forever, indefinitely. I think I did find a new accountant for us, so we just have to pull the trigger and make the decision. I had another appointment today, 2 appointments actually today. So I think that one that you got the proposal, I think that's the one that we're going to go with. They seem really nice, and they seem to be really in tune to what we're all about. And for me, it's like I'd pay a little bit more money to have a company that actually understands what we're all about, because let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that it costs $10,000, and then we'll wrap up. Let's say it costs $10,000 a year for paying our for keep doing our bookkeeping and taxes and accounting and and advice and all that. So $10,000 a year. Let's say that the last vendor costs us $5,000 a year. But this second company, through communication, actually reduces our tax liability by $5,000. I'm like, okay, done deal. I feel like that's where we are. We're going to pay a little bit more, but we're going to get more service.
I have to believe that they're going to be able to help us reduce our tax burden by that much, if not more. So yes.
Yeah, $57 in auto deductions last year. I wanted to choke our fucking accountant.
Well, we could always, we could have our
I know
new company look at last year's taxes and refile and say, hey, we missed a whole bunch of stuff. We could try.
Okay,
see.
let's just open ourselves up to a nice big fat audit. Also, let's not throw up any flags. We kind of got away with as much as we possibly could, but at the same time, let's just keep rolling forward. Let's not look through the rearview mirror. Let's keep rolling forward.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
All right. In the meantime, Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
Friday advice and Tuesday interviews with people far more interesting than they are. Fill up your week with the nice guys. Have fun storming the castle.